Ladies, let me begin with this question. What would your reaction be if your longtime boyfriend, your fiance, proposed to you with a ring that cost less than $6 US, almost the slice of a pizza? What would your reaction be? How would you, in that moment, I mean, you may not know the cost of the ring when you received it, but if you found out the ring was about $6 US, what would your reaction be? I would love to have you at the very onset let me know quickly what your thoughts would be. What would your reaction be? I would love to hear their comment even right away, because this is what happened to a young man and a young woman who he proposed to. And this story that we're diving into about love and money, sprinkled with some cultural expectations, and it's about a tiny little ring that's got the internet buzzing. What it is that this Filipino man, this dude, proposed to his fiance, having been with her for 8 years, and he did so with a 299 pesos. That's what the ring cost to his fiance. And she reacted in a way that, let's just say, not exactly thrilled. Now, some folks are clapping their hands while others are saying, hold on and wait a minute. But before you judge, I want us to unpack the real story and what happens behind this ring. And maybe, just maybe, you'll see things differently from the perspective from which I want to share this with you. My name is Kingsley Grant, and I am a licensed marriage and family therapist and a certified relationship coach and the host of this channel. If you are new, just wanted you to introduce myself to you, and thanks for being here. So this young man, this dude, he popped the question to his amazing girlfriend, right? Been 8 years, so you would say she's an amazing girlfriend with a ring that cost, like I said, 299 pesos. So let's kind of break down this diamond-sized dilemma in 3 big bites. Okay, money matters, but does it really matter that much? Does a fancy ring equal happily ever after? And most importantly, did this bride's response, was it justifiable? So we're gonna break those 3 sectors down. First one, love is what makes the world go round. And I would think affordability is also a part of that as well. You know, I love this scripture in 1 Corinthians 13, verse 13 says this, and now abide faith, hope, and love, these 3, but the greatest of these is love. Not carrot, not a ring. The greatest of these is love. That's right. Love is a main course. It's not the appetizer, as some people treat love. It's a main course. And true love is in the heart. It's the thought behind the gift, not the price tag, as some people focus on, right? Here's the thing. Love isn't measured in carrots. It's measured in heart. So I want to think like a pizza. Imagine you're starving and someone offers you a delicious pizza. Does it matter if that slice of pizza is served on a silver platter or paper plate or a napkin? You'd be grateful either way, right? Because you're starving. And love is like that delicious pizza that's warm and filling and way more important than the fancy plate it's served on. Would you agree with that? If you agree so far, would you hit that like button right now and let me know that you are agreeing so far? So the story is that this guy, he didn't just grab any ring. He put thought and effort into purchasing what he thought was, based on what he had as money, could do for his girlfriend. Again, I don't know the full story, but he could have saved up what he could. And in his mind, he picked out something very special, even if it wasn't blinktastic. Okay, that's true love. It's not about the price tag; it's the heart that's behind it. I remember when I proposed and I got married over 38 years as of this recording. Right, I've been married for 38 years, and I can tell you that even though my ring for my wife did cost more than $6, I want to say that up front. I'm not going to shy away from that. It cost more than $6, but I can tell you it didn't cost, as some people today are putting so much emphasis in the ring, multiple thousands and thousands of dollars. Why? I could not afford that. We were at a point in our lives at the time, young, we weren't fully established, and we decided we wanted to get married. So I had to scrape up what I could and purchase a ring for my wife. Thank God she wasn't one that asked, how much did this cost? She wasn't one that says, where are the carats? I haven't seen them. They're not sparkling on my hand. Thank God she wasn't that type. She accepted the proposal. She was happy that we were going to get married. Family and friends were excited for us. But I thank God that the emphasis wasn't on the ring or how much it cost. And here we are, 38 years later. I know of people who have put so much emphasis on a ring. I have, in my work, worked with couples where I can see on that wife's hand, the carats, they blind me in this session, how big they are. Right? That's the first thing I see before I even see sometimes the person. I'm just exaggerating a bit here, right? But my point is that they're there because they're having problems in their marriage. They're there because things are not working out. So if it was the ring and the price of the price tag, they would not be there. But it, my friend, is not that. It's more than that. Number two, diamonds are forever, but debt isn't. Right? Diamonds are forever, but debt isn't. Now, what do I mean by that? So when people are thinking about diamonds and debt, because they're going to put themselves in this debt to get this ring to impress their fiance, really is to impress those people who looks at their fiance's finger. And by looking on her finger, they're going to think about him and wonder, what kind of person is he? They're making these internal judgment of who he is, and based upon the ring on his fiance's hand or, wife's hand, right? Because again, he wants to think that they're thinking that he's a baller. Maybe he is, and if that's okay, that's fine. Now, I'm not in here to judge. If I had the money, I want to say this up front. If I had the money and could afford 3, 4, or 5 carat diamond for my wife, and still feel as if I'm a good steward of what God has blessed me with, I would go ahead and do that. But my wife would not be even okay with that. And I don't think I would be either. Why? Because we would be, I believe, not be good stewards of what God has blessed us with. Again, unless I'm a Elon Musk, right? Having billions and billions of dollars. And of course, it wouldn't matter too much. Okay. But let's be real. Weddings can be expensive. And some people go to nuts. They buy rings and they do all these different things. Even the rings are worth the price of a car. Okay. And so what I find is starting married life with mountains of debt is a recipe for stress and arguments and disaster. Remember, the best part of marriage isn't the diamonds, right? It's the laughter, it's the adventures, the late night pizza, fights over who gets the last slice. Spoiler alert, it's you, right? For me, I would have my wife get the last slice and be okay with that. At least I would save myself some weight. Now, I'm not saying she should put the weight on, so don't get me wrong, but at least it would be, I wouldn't have to worry too much about this spread, this middle-aged spread that keeps on happening, okay? So smart saving, smart loving. This dude gets it. He wants to start their marriage life with his head screwed on straight, knowing that money can't buy love, but responsible decisions can build a strong foundation for their future. And I would say that maybe his argument and that maybe his thought process, I don't know him, I haven't spoken to him, but I would say that is why he possibly did that, okay? I don't think he's this evil kind of person that wants to kind of hurt his girlfriend of 8 years. You know, who would? I don't think he is that person. I love what Mark Twain says. Mark Twain says this: never buy something you can't afford, even if it's on sale. Never buy something you can't afford, even if it's on sale. Wise words, Mark. Wisdom right there. So applying that to engagement ring makes sense. I love also what Will Smith says. It's attributed to him, to Will Smith. He says, we spend money that we do not have on things we do not need to impress people who do not care. And so that's why sometimes it's all about the cultural expectations. It's all about status. It's all about comparison. Let me see your ring. Oh, look at my ring. You got to just see my ring at home. It's in the safe at home. Yeah, well, of course. Why are you going to keep the ring in the safe at home when it's really for to wear? Buy one that can be worn and invest the money someplace else or give it to charity. That's a tangent. Let me go back on topic here. So the point number three is saying yes for the right reasons. Saying yes for the right reason. Now, his girlfriend, his fiance, she froze. She, in her response, she's saying, in the post that she makes, she said, am I being immature, or am I really justified in my concern that he only could buy me? Is it that he thinks of me this way? Now, that's not her words, but that was the idea. The implications are part of the implications that I got from what I heard and what her post was. Okay. So her disappointment and her sadness, there's nothing wrong with being disappointed because we all have expectations. And maybe for her, she had this great expectations, at least something more than that. So not having a expectation met, yes, we're going to be disappointed. And that's normal and natural to our feelings. However, it's not so much that she felt disappointed. It's what we do with the disappointment that matters. Okay. We need to also focus on forever, not the fizzle. Focus on forever, not the fizzle. Marriage is more about everything else than pictures and hashtags and memes and reels and stories. It's more than that. It's more than TikTok. It's more than Instagram. It's more than all the social media combined. It's about commitment and respect and building a life together. See, a fancy ring might spark a moment of joy, but it won't keep the fire burning in the long run. It won't. If it could, many more marriages would have survived today than they are. The final bite. This viral story reminds us that true love isn't measured in pesos or carats, right? It's about finding someone who loves you for who you are, not what you wear, not what you can give, but for who you are. So I want to celebrate this dude's smart choice and his focus on love and based upon what he could afford and thinking about the future. See, people think about wedding or marriage as the wedding. They invest so much money into the wedding and so very little into the marriage. What do I mean? The wedding is what you do on that day. And you invite your friends and you celebrate. But the marriage is what goes on after that. And imagine when you are in heaps of debt and now you're going to figure out, how do we pay for this? And then there's stress and tension financially. And in the West, finances is the number one cost of divorce. I mean, not cost. Cost as true. It's cost, yes, as well. But the number one reason for divorce is finances in the West. So why are you going to run the risk of being a statistic? And so I celebrate this young man for what he did, and I give him A+ for the effort he made, and we should applaud that. He did with what he had. You know, in the story where Jesus told a story in the Bible where he saw all the people putting their offerings into the bag, and he saw this one widow. She gave like a penny. Just a penny, what she could afford. And Jesus made a comment. He said, she gave more than everybody else who gave of what they could afford because she gave all she had. And he commented about what she did because she gave out of the little she did because she felt the impulse that she would rather give to God. And so this young man who gave this $6 ring based on what he could afford, he did the wise thing. And I want to applaud him. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Would you agree with what I've just said? Would you agree with anything I've just said in this video? And I would love to hear if you comment below and let me know your thoughts on this. So what do you think? Was a girl, his fiance, was she overreacting? Or did she have a valid point of contention? Was she overreacting? If you think she was overreacting, let me hear the yes, right? Hit like. If you think she is not overreacting, then comment. Let me know your thoughts on this. Share your thoughts in the comments below and let's keep the conversation going. And if you're looking for more real talk about relationships, don't forget to subscribe. And make sure you watch this video right here because it would also add to more about what it is you can expect on this channel. Thank you. May God bless you. And on your decision, I'd love to hear from you and share this video with at least one other person. Let's make this go viral. That's right. Thank you.